On the evening of November 24th, 1971, the night before Thanksgiving, a man in his mid-40s walked into Portland International Airport. He looked like any ordinary businessman. A dark suit, a neat white shirt, a thin black tie. He carried nothing unusual except for a briefcase by his side. He purchased a one-way ticket to Seattle. It cost just $20. The name on the ticket read Dan Cooper, but history would remember him forever by a different name. D.B. Cooper. The plane he boarded was Northwest Orient Flight 305, a Boeing 727 with 36 passengers and 6 crew members. Cooper chose seat 18C. He sat quietly, ordered a bourbon and soda, and seemed perfectly calm. There was nothing to suggest what was about to happen. Not long after takeoff, Cooper slipped a folded note into the hands of a flight attendant. At first, she ignored it, assuming it was just a phone number from another lonely traveler. But Cooper leaned closer and whispered, "Miss, you'd better look at that note. I have a bomb." When she opened it, she saw the demand. Cooper asked for $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck waiting in Seattle. To prove he was serious, he cracked open the briefcase just enough to reveal wires and red cylinders inside. Real or fake? It didn't matter. The crew believed him. Seattle was notified. The FBI scrambled. While the plane circled the city for nearly 2 hours, authorities gathered the money, 10,000 $20 bills, carefully recorded for tracing, along with 4 parachutes. Why 4? Some believed he wanted to take hostages with him. Others thought it was a clever way to confuse investigators. No one really knew. Finally, the plane landed in Seattle. Cooper received the ransom and the parachutes. In return, he released all the passengers, leaving only the pilots and a single flight attendant on board. The aircraft took off again, this time heading south, supposedly bound for Mexico City. But Cooper had no intention of reaching that destination. Somewhere over the dense forests of Washington state, at an altitude of 10,000 feet, he strapped on a parachute, tied the canvas bag of cash to his body, and at exactly 8:13 p.m., he lowered the rear stairway of the 727 and jumped into the stormy night sky. When the plane eventually landed in Reno, Nevada, FBI agents rushed aboard. Cooper was gone. So was the money. What followed was one of the largest manhunts in U.S. history. Search teams scoured the rugged forests and rivers of the Pacific Northwest. Military paratroopers were questioned. Ex-convicts, airline workers, even known criminals were brought in as suspects. More than 800 names were investigated, but none could be proven to be D.B. Cooper. Some believed he never survived the jump. The conditions were brutal: freezing temperatures, high winds, and thick forest below. Others insisted he had planned it too well, that he landed safely, disappeared into the night, and lived the rest of his life in quiet anonymity. Years later, a strange clue surfaced. In 1980, a young boy camping with his family along the Columbia River unearthed 3 bundles of rotting $20 bills. They matched the serial numbers of the ransom money, but the rest of the $200,000 has never been found. As the years passed, Cooper transformed from a criminal into a legend. He inspired songs, books, movies, and countless theories. Bartenders created cocktails in his name. Comic books retold his story. Unlike most hijackers, Cooper hurt no one. He was polite, calm, almost gentlemanly, and that made him strangely admired. In 2016, after more than 4 decades of dead ends, the FBI finally closed the case. To this day, no one knows for sure if D.B. Cooper died in the woods, or if he escaped with the money and vanished into history. What remains is a mystery, a man with no past, no future, and no trace. D.B. Cooper, the hijacker who got away. More than 50 years have passed, and the mystery of D.B. Cooper remains unsolved. Was he a criminal mastermind who escaped with fortune, or a desperate man who vanished into the storm? What do you think happened that night? Share your theories in the comments below. We read every one of them. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more unsolved mysteries, and hit the bell icon so you never miss the next case. But the night doesn't end here. Next time on Criminal Chronicles, we dive into one of the most chilling unsolved cases in American history, the Zodiac Killer. A man who sent taunting letters to the police, claimed multiple murders, and vanished without a trace. Who was he? Why did he strike? And could the truth still be out there, waiting to be uncovered? Subscribe, hit the bell icon, and join us as we unravel the mysteries of the Zodiac Killer.